Welcome back. I'm joined by Matt Schmalz, an associate professor of religious studies at Holy Cross College in Worcester, and also the author of Mercy Matters, Opening Yourself to the Life-Changing Gift, and it's published by our Sunday Visitor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me on the show. I'm really excited.
So mercy is a big topic, obviously, with the Pope declaring a Jubilee year for mercy, and now you releasing this book. What inspired you to write this?
Well, actually, it came from a piece I wrote for Crux when it was with the Boston Globe, where I reflected on the Divine Mercy devotion, particularly as I experienced it in Sri Lanka, island off of India, where I was running a study abroad program. And so in reflecting on mercy and the Divine Mercy, I was given the opportunity to write about mercy for the Jubilee year. And it was a wonderful experience for me.
Now this book goes through your life and what mercy has meant to you in your life. And I wanted to start with one of the topics that you talk about, and that's your sobriety. So in chapter 2, when everybody gets the book, you write, hold on guys, I lost the page. But you here it is. So, stories of sobriety, like stories of conversion, are all different, but they're all the same. They're stories of mercy. And I think that is such a powerful way to look at that problem, and especially looking at that through how Jesus must look at us when we have a weakness.
Yeah, and for me, the mercy was being able to admit that I was an alcoholic, that I had a serious drinking problem, and it wasn't something I could solve on my own. And so opening myself up to God's grace, to God's love, by admitting my own powerlessness and my own need for mercy was a really life-transforming moment for me.
And when you talk about mercy, obviously that's the whole point of the Gospels, right? That's why Jesus came, because we all need mercy and we all need to be saved. But it was explained to me by a priest once that in order to give mercy, we need to be able to receive mercy. Do you find that in your own experience?
Yeah, and I would say offering myself mercy is something I have the most difficulty with, and I devote a chapter of the book to talking about what mercy to oneself means. And for me, it meant going to confession, experiencing the sacrament of reconciliation, and really feeling God's merciful love and God's merciful presence in my life. But I think sometimes it's easier for us to show mercy to others than it is for us to show mercy to ourselves.
And how would you advise people who might be struggling with something, whether it would be alcohol or drugs or another problem that they've had in their life? How would you encourage them to say, hey, listen, you know, God's bigger than this and he wants you back? How do you tell people that?
Well, I think what you can do, or at least what I would do, is to say that there is hope, and that hope can come from hopelessness in ways that we don't expect once we admit and are honest to ourselves that we have a problem, and we offer it up to God, and we also are open with other people, you know, that we need help, and that help will come and be there for us when we ask for it.
Another topic that you brought up in the book, which I thought was interesting, was that you admitted that you were a bully when you were younger. Most people wouldn't, you know, say, yeah, that bully, that was me. But you admitted that.
Yeah. I talk about an experience I had reconciling with a person that I had bullied, and we ran into each other during my 25th high school reunion. And he called me over and to say something to me. Yeah, and I thought he was going to slug me in the face because, I mean, that's what I deserved. But he embraced me, and he asked forgiveness from me for getting into a fight with him, which I surely instigated back when we were younger. And so coming to terms with my own childhood cruelties in some ways, and being forgiven for them, being shown mercy by those whom I had bullied, was really a transformative moment for me. I'll never forget that. I mean, going up to, I call him by the name Zach in the book, going up to him thinking that he was going to confront me, and he embraces me. And what a powerful moment that was.
And that's such a Jesus moment too,
right? It was a Jesus moment. It was a Jesus moment. And that's what Jesus calls us to be open to love and mercy, and how that can transform our lives in a moment. But be permanent and long-lasting nonetheless.
And you also talk about your own adoption, which was an issue for you, I guess, growing up?
Yeah, it was. I mean, not in the sense that I was angry about being adopted. I mean, I'm always very grateful for it. I knew my birth mother had me baptized before giving me up for adoption. But nonetheless, I struggled with a lot of feelings of rejection. and hurt surrounding it, even though I was still grateful. And trying to come to terms with that and trying to reach out to my birth mother was something that was important to me. Even though things turned out very differently than I expected, it was still a real experience of mercy.
And you're a father of 2 teenage girls.
I am.
So God is making you really work for this. I understand. So God's putting you through whatever you put anybody through. You're feeling it now. But how would you encourage your daughters, or even at the college level? I know you're at a Catholic college, but at that age, everybody's questioning. How do you encourage kids to say or to understand God's mercy and to live that way and to be proud to be Catholic? How do you encourage that?
Well, I think it's by example, first and foremost. That is, I need to be honest and I need to be open about my own Catholicity and how God has worked miracles in my life. And by doing that, by sharing my own experiences, I think I at least open the way for people to share their own experiences as well, and for my kids to understand that God is reflected in the little things just as in the big things.
This is a great book. Thank you so much. It's called Mercy Matters, and it certainly does. Thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you.
God bless you.